Whoa, what's going on, guys? Back at it again with another video. And today I'm just going to show you the end result of the last video, which was pretty much the interior of my car ripped apart. So I'm going to start from the outside, move my way in, and just show you what's going on. So as you can see, have the 2002 BMW 325i E46 sitting on some Solo Works coils, some 18-inch Cosmos. I believe they are XT005Rs. I believe I got that right. If not, put it down in the comments. The front are 18 by 9s plus 25, and the rears are 18 by 10s plus 20s. So starting out, the gas cap cover, or the filler cover, gas cover, is painted gold to match the wheels. I know, super cheesy, super rice. That's something that every 15, 16, 17-year-old does when they get their first car. They get a can of Plasti Dip and paint their gas cap black. That I just did for fun. I know it's rice. You don't have to tell me. I know. But this was vinyl wrapped, and the wrap was fading and pilling and bubbling, so ripped that off and just painted it to match the wheels. It's not going to stay that way. It's super cheesy, but I just did it for fun. On to the next cheesy thing are these mud flaps, which are cheap little cutting boards. They're not even cutting boards. They're cutting mats from the dollar store, 99-cent store. As you can see, super thin. This one's already warped. Just did that for fun. I like the way that mud flaps looks. I like the looks of mud flaps on cars, like Subarus, Evos, things like that. The Focus RS. So I just thought it would be cool just to give it a little try. I'm like 50-50 still. They've been on there for about 2-3 weeks, but I do have some OEM style mud guards. I just gotta clean up, trim a little bit, because they don't really sit super flush with the back of the bumper, because I did cut the fender out and trim the back bumper to fit these wheels and to get ready for over fenders or fender flares. I'm not exactly sure. But on to the next thing. I redid my license plate bracket. Yes, you can see all the boogers in the slab. Fucking slag. All the bubbles. But redid that so it sits straight and nice. To do that, I just used my really old Harbor Freight flux core. Hey, it's not perfect, but it did the job, and you can't see it. I mean, I painted it just to cover up the bare metal and to match the paint, but hey, it is what it is. Next thing I did was repainted the vents right here and the wiper arms. They were super faded and just looking crusty. So got that cleaned up. Still have the black kidney grills. And let me open up the hood before we get into the interior. So with the with the theme I was going for the outside of the car, obviously it's going to be like black and gold. So with the engine bay, what I did was did like homemade hydro dip and did this black and gold. It's supposed to look like patina, Mad Max style, just that rustic, really old, kind of grungy oil spill look. And then for the smaller cover that covers the fill rail, it's primarily gold with small like black swirls. And as you can see, I kind of messed up and it's thicker right here, but just the bucket I was using for the hydro dip was too small, so I kind of overlapped it. But just a fun little project. It's not supposed to be a show car. It's just something nice for you guys that are out here messing with your cars and you do small little things like that. It just gives you kind of like a peace of mind that you have just these little aesthetics that are done that just kind of, when you look at it, you know it's there and it makes you smile. And with that being said, we'll move to the trunk. To the rear strut bar. Have that painted gold with the black splatter to match the engine cover and the wheels. So that turned out really good. Just once again, it's not something that people are going to see every day. They're not going to see that while you're driving down the highway. You're not going to have your hood open. You're not going to have your trunk open. But it's just something there that when I am putting stuff in the trunk, or when I'm over here doing something in the engine, I see it. And it just kind of gives me that little sense of satisfaction. And then as you could see in here, I also painted the front little bracing right here gold. And the reason why I did that is because every time I walk out, I would see like this crusty, just bare metal shining through the grills. But now it's gold. It's supposed to be rose gold, but it's more of like a copper look. But hey, I think that turned out pretty cool. So as far as the outside, that's pretty much it. Like I said, I do have some OEM style mud guards that I'm going to clean up and fit to replace those homemade mud flaps. I do end up finding, I already had these silver spacers, but I ended up finding another pair of 15 millimeter spacers. So now I have a full set. I also ended up finding aluminum Mishimoto expansion tank, which I only got for $9.50 at my local junkyard. So I'm going to be redoing my expansion tank for the second time because it is already leaking and everything. Outside. Oh, I did end up finding this trim piece for the back door. It goes along the back window. I don't know why there's a little gap right there, but I don't know if you remember seeing any of the videos before. I did not have that back piece, so now I do. And it's amazing what small little trim pieces do. It just brings together the car. Because without this, there was just a gap there that, I don't know, it just looked ugly. So that's the outside. The last piece about the outside, which you can't really see, I cut off the muffler, and I swear this thing was about I don't know, I'd say about 35, 40 pounds of just dead weight in the back of the car. And honestly, it kind of gave the car a different sound. Obviously, I mean, you take off the muffler and everything, it's going to sound different. But it kind of gave it a nice little growl, a nice little rumble, especially when you're kind of cruising at 35, 4,000 RPMs and you let off the gas coming to a stop, or when you downshift and you kind of rev match and just let it rev out, let it just rev down a little bit. It just kind of grumbles with a little bit of pops, which is nothing major, but it just sounds better. It just sounds, to me, these cars are just, they should just sound tough. I know it's not like a American muscle or anything, but it just gives it a nice sound. All right, so moving on to the interior. Still have the red and black door cards with the black trim. Still have the black trim throughout the front and the center. No more wood grain. Sewed together a little custom shift boot with the cherry blossom. Still got the black Tomei. And for the stereo, no, it looks funky, but I'm putting in a doubled in flat screen, touchscreen radio. So I relocated the climate control to the bottom where this sat. And I just have this just shoved in right here for now because I don't want a gaping hole. So when I get the right brackets and the harness adapters, I'm going to be swapping out that for a touchscreen radio. And I added in this long mirror right here, which, hey, rice or nice? I think it's rice and nice. Probably 20 years too late on putting this style mirror. I don't know if you want to call it like a Broadway mirror or a Twink mirror. I don't know what brand it is. I don't know what you want to call it. Found it in the junkyard. It was only like $3. So fuck it. Why not? This is a project car. This is something I drive to work, and the only reason why I drive it to work is because I only work 6 miles down the road. So this is like a weekend driver. It's not a daily driver. I still do have the OEM mirror here. I didn't have the heart to rip this off. I didn't want to mess it up. Just in case. This is replaceable. I could just unbolt this and put my visors back on. But moving on to the interior. Last time you seen the headliner and everything, it was ripped apart. And the reason was because I was redoing it in this cherry blossom. So I got that painted black. Did the whole headliner in cherry blossom. Got this black. Got the sunroof trim black. The cover is probably my favorite part. I don't know why. It just came out so smooth. The cherry blossom. Got the handles black. All the handles black. All the trim pieces black. All the covers black. So now the car is pretty much 99% black and red on the inside. Minus that part for the third brake light, which I didn't want to pull off because I didn't have any way to reseal that third brake light. And these little lights right here. As you can see, there is plastic all the way over. It's not just plastic on the lights. So I could not get this black. And before I put the mirror in, I had my sun visors there to cover it anyways. So I said, forget it. I'll just leave it. This is not a show car. It is definitely a fun project car. And there is no need to make it perfect. yet, at least. There are a bunch of things that I still want to do. Like I said, I'm going to redo the stereo, eventually get a quick release. I was definitely thinking of doing a D&D setup. So I want to get the hub, the quick release, and probably a 330 mil steering wheel. I had a 330 millimeter steering wheel in my XRS, my Corolla XRS, which, if you guys don't know, is Toyota's version of the SI. I had a 2005, which came with the 2ZZ GE motor, which they partnered up with Toyota to do. And it was a sick ass fool. It was a sick ass ride. But this is the car, and that's what I've done. Future plans for the interior, I want to get rid of these seats, do bucket seats. Obviously, I want to do a steering wheel setup. I'm going to be redoing the stereo soon, hopefully. As far as the engine, I was thinking about just full sending it, slapping on a turbo kit, or just keeping it stock and saving up for a swap, which I have 3 ideas, which are an RB, a JZ, or LS. Not sure. LS is probably going to be the most affordable, easy access to parts if need be. JZ is probably the second least expensive, with the RB being probably the most expensive and probably harder to source parts, probably more expensive to source parts. But let me know what you guys think of the car as it sits overall. Just drop a comment, drop a thumbs up, drop a thumbs down if you don't like it. And if you don't, just leave a comment, tell me why. But that'll do it for the Beamer update. Catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully, I'll see you in the next one.